This question asks, is the relation a function? Now, it's the same as we did the last time. If you have the same x with more than one y, then it's not a function. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's look at this first relation, which is 3 ordered pairs. Do you think this is a function, yes or no?
No.
Yes.
No.
Heard a yes and a no. I need to hear more.
A 4 and a 3.
No.
No.
All right.
No.
The no's have it by a slight margin, okay? This is actually not a function, and let me tell you why. If you go to graph these points, let's look at them from a graphing perspective, okay?
They could not repeat.
So this would be 4, 1, and this would be 4, 7, and this would be 3, 2. So look at those points. If you drew a vertical line, would it hit more than one point? Yes. Okay, if my drawing was accurate, if I drew a vertical line, it would hit 2 points. So it's not a function. Okay, so remember, to be a function, or let's say to not be a function, if it's not a function, it will have one x value with 2 different y values. Okay, so let's look at this second one right here. Is this a function?
Yes.
Yes, it is a
Yes.
function.
Yeah.
Okay, do I have the same x with 2 different y's? No, I don't. And if you graph those points, you'd see that you cannot draw a vertical line through more than one. Okay, and then let's look at this last one down here that I'm circling in green. Is that a function?
Yes.
I heard one brave yes. What do you think?
How do you know just from looking at it though?
Well, you'd ask yourself, do I have the same x with 2 different y's? Okay, and let me remind you about x and y. It's alphabetical. So x comes before y in the alphabet. That's my x point, that's my y point. So do you see the same x with 2 different y's? No.
No.
This one has the same y with different x's, but that's okay, right? That's fine. You just can't have, like this one at the top. See how I have the same x
The same x.
with 2 different y's? This is what makes the top one not good, not a function.
So you just can't have the same x.
You can't have the same x with 2 different y's. Now, some teachers would give you a point where it would be 4, 5, and 4, 5. They would give you like the same point twice. You know, they may ask you that, but that's the same point. So it doesn't have 2 different y's. But for the most part, if you see the same x, then you need to stop and look at it and see if the y is different. And if so, it's not a function. Okay, let me show you what this one would look like. If I went to graph this one, this would be 7, 0. Would be right there. 5, 0 would be right here.
So we can ask.
2, 0 would be right there. So this is perfectly fine with the vertical line test. Fine, fine, fine. Does that vertical, do any of those vertical lines go through more than one point?
No.
No.
Just one.
Okay. So now let's talk about this domain and range. Okay, the domain and range is the domain, and we talked about this a little bit in Math 097 if you took that class. The domain is all of your x values. And then the range would be what?
Y.
The y values.
All
The
of your
y.
y values. Okay, so if I went back here and I was looking for domain and range, the domain is all of the x values that have a graph, and the range is all the y values that have a graph. So when you look at this one,
4 and 3.
the domain is going to be 4, 3.
3.
We don't need to put the 4 twice because it's already included. And the range is going to
1,
be
2, and 7.
1, 2, 7.
1, 2, and 7. Okay, so somebody had the mic on. Let me see if I can mute them. The range is going to be 1, 2, and 7. Okay, and you go ahead and put those numbers in separated by commas. Okay, what about this? What about the second one? What is the domain of the second one?
1, 5, and 8.
1, 5, and 8. And the range of the second one?
1, 2, and 8.
That's right. 1, 2, and 8. So remember, the domain is all of your x values, and the range is all of your y values. Okay, and then the one on the bottom, what is the domain?
7, 5, and 2.
7, 5, and 2. And the range?
0.
Just
0.